If I eat this food, will I gain weight? I get everyone's questions on how they should eat to stay slim, how I eat to stay slim. So I decided to ask my followers on Instagram. If you're not following me on that page, go ahead right now. I asked, what foods are you craving the most right now? I kind of just brought the top 10 answers. I'm just gonna rate those foods while I kind of show how I would eat those food, or if I would prefer eating that food over another, you know, things like that. I think it's always just really interesting to hear about how someone eats to stay slim. I love watching like celebrity interviews and just listening to how they eat to their day-to-day lives.
Are you hungry right now?
Not at all.
Really? I'm so hungry.
Well, you should probably eat.
Bye, thank you.
We don't want to promote any sort of ED or any sort of starvation or controlling your portions too much to the point where it is not good for your health. We want to make sure that we are keeping a deficit, but not too much, just to the point where it's keeping our body fat percentage at a low level so that we stay slim. I talk all about this and more about how you can stay slim based on the 60-20-20 ratio, 60 being fat loss, 20 being your workouts, and 20 being taking care of your water retention. And if you guys want to learn more about this, definitely join me at the GSM Academy. Down below, I will leave the link. If you want to stay slim and you want to become slim, excuse me for my voice and my coughs. I have like the worst coughs right now. I was sick the past like week. The remnants are still kind of there. I'm still recovering, but I really wanted this video up for you guys, so here I am. I also want to introduce one of my favorite workout brands that I have already worked with before and I've already shopped with before. They are named Halara. This brand is the starter of community-based productions, and one of the things that I absolutely adore about them is their Halara Circle, which is a community that they created based on their buyers who have purchased their leggings, which is, you know, one of their most viral products. So their leggings were created from the start with feedback induced by their Halara Circle community. And it's so cool as someone who is a business owner myself to build something based on what your community actually wants and loves. What really sets the Halara clothing apart is their unique fabric technology in their leggings and all their other workout clothes that really makes this durable fabric, but it's just so sweat resistant, obviously tear free. The best thing is that it shapes your body in a way that you look slim even before you even do the workout. So the leggings that I have chosen here, you can see that the stomach part and the booty area is really designed so that it creates that natural slimming effect where it really tucks in your tummy, makes your booty look super rounded and your legs look super long because it's designed in that way. And I'm also pretty tall. I'm like 171, which is around 5'7.5" to 5'8". I love the fact that they also come with different alternatives that you can choose, either tall or just regular or petite. So I obviously chose the tall one and it was very long for me, which is never usually the case with leggings. Leggings always is a natural 7 to 8 length for me, but these leggings go all the way down to my ankles to the point where you can't even see my foot, which I love. It elongates your legs, it slims down your legs, it just makes your body look so good. If you like any of the pieces that I am showing you guys in this video, definitely check them in the description box. See a discount code as well so you guys can save your money off, and also join their Halara Circle if you want to be a part of a larger community who really takes feedback from what you desire from workout clothing, and that you can feel your best and look your best just by wearing these clothes. Okay, so let's get right into the video. First thing on the list, I have my sister next to me. If I keep looking this way and I'm smiling, it's because she's next to me. Excuse me. Ooh, is my hair okay? Okay, so what is first on the list? Okay, first thing on the list is pasta. Is there like a type of pasta? Alfredo pasta. Okay. Oh, disclaimer. Before we get into the video, I want to talk about a disclaimer. This video is obviously for entertaining, funsy purposes. It is not for education or for, you know, nutrition. If you need those expert advice, you should go to a doctor, go to an actual certified nutritionist and get your help from there. Here's the thing. I think pasta on its own, depending on the type of ingredients that you use, it could be really great because the process of making pasta actually helps it. Kind of similar to sourdough. When you consume pasta, the digestion is actually pretty slow, which actually helps the sugar levels to stay balanced as you're eating pasta. But obviously, if you're adding things like cream and Alfredo sauce and, you know, various high in fat ingredients, it's like going to increase the calories to a double depending on the fat levels. And unless you decide to put in like protein, like put in some chicken in there, some lean meats, and like a healthy amount of other ingredients like mushrooms and some sort of veggies in there, it could become a balanced meal. But I would still say, like with cream, it's pretty hard to lower the fat percentage. And I feel like that ratio of 2 to 1, which is, you know, 2 carbs, 2 protein, 1 fat, building your meals around that ratio is what makes it a very balanced meal. So, you know, it could work, but I would still say definitely not high on the rank. If it's a pasta that has just olive oil based and you put in like other veggies and protein, and I guess more make it like a kind of like a skinny pasta, I feel like those pastas might be a lot better. But if it's going to have cream as your base, then it is definitely lower on the rating. Yeah. Next one. Ice cream. Ice cream. Okay. Ice cream. I feel like depending on what kind of ingredients is in the ice cream, it could work. So for example, there's a lot of different gelatos or different ice cream brands where it's created using fruits, sorbets. Those could be amazing. Even the sugar inside those sorbets, it's really not that bad because at the end of the day, it could be used as energy depending on, you know, how you eat it and how your blood sugar levels are balanced. If you're having a good hearty meal, you know, a good healthy meal before and then have sorbet as an after, that could also work. But if it's going to be milk based, I would definitely say portion it to the extent where you're able to still enjoy it and fill in your cravings. So one thing that I do really enjoy is having like 2 scoops of those either coconut milk based ice cream or other alternatives like oat milk based. And then on top of that, I just put some walnuts or some almonds. I throw in a little bit of yogurt, Greek yogurt. I feel like that could work because it's, again, helping to balance out your blood sugar levels. Okay, next. Tacos. Okay. You know what? Tacos could work depending on what kind of shell you use, just because I'm gonna do this. The more I make my voice louder, I just cough. So I'm gonna start speaking very quietly from now. I feel like tacos, it could work depending on what kind of taco shell you use. If you use like, honestly, even like a soft like tortilla or like a corn tortilla, that could be fine if you're not going to have carbohydrates inside your taco. Like for instance, if you're gonna put in rice inside your taco, then maybe that's too much carbs in that 2 to 1 carb fat protein ratio. But, you know, it could work with a balance, like adding some lean beef in there or lean chicken and some other, you know, lettuce and tomatoes. It's quite balanced if you think about it. But the only thing that tacos are not great of is you have to eat multiple of those tacos to stay full. So in terms of that, I would say just do like maybe 1 to 2 taco shells, and then load it up with a bunch of like lettuce, tomatoes, and lean beef. You can replace the taco shell with something that's a little bit more healthier. I know there's a lot of different protein based wraps or these like protein tortillas from Costco. My mom bought them the other day and they were actually literally the same. They tasted the exact same, but the calories were lower. So if you find those, then that could totally work. You can make it into your little DIY taco by, you know, shaping it and frying it that way somehow in some really good like coconut or avocado oil. I would rate it around 7 out of 10. But you do have to consider that eating tacos, it doesn't fully satiate your hunger. Definitely think about that. Okay, what's next? Kebab. Okay, I feel like kebabs could be amazing actually. Kebabs could be really great because it's basically just meat, but it does have a lot of sodium inside. Usually when you have kebab, you normally have it with pita or you have it with a lot of rice. So as long as you have the kebab with some sort of, you know, maybe a bed of lettuce and some tzatziki sauce, like some sort of like Greek yogurt sauce, something that's going to make that a little bit more well-rounded. And also because it is pretty high in sodium, I would definitely say portion it, but also don't use sauces on other parts of your plate because the kebab itself is already pretty high in salt. Yeah, I would rate that around like 8 out of 10 as long as you eat it the right way. Okay, next. Burgers. Oh, I get a lot of questions on burgers. I actually think burger is a great way to eat if you're on a diet and you're trying to fill in that like really great balance of that fat and carbs and protein ratio. In terms of the ratio, it's actually amazing. But if you want to make it obviously better, because you can replace the buns with lettuce, that would definitely decrease the calories by half. I personally prefer eating burgers with a lettuce bun just because it just tastes more fresher and it tastes better for me. But if you want to have it with bread, just maybe have the top bread off. You can just have it with one side of the bun. If you want to have both sides of the bun, then maybe just have that burger, no fries. Fries are definitely not your best friend when it comes to eating burgers. I actually do enjoy eating fries if it's like maybe with a bowl of salad or something that's not too high in calories, because we are going to talk about this later, but salads could also be really high in calories. So burger on its own, without the fries, without the soda, it could be amazing in terms of the ratio. And calorie wise, I would also say it's not bad as long as you're not adding like bacon and mayo and all that other like extra condiments. It's around like 500 calories. I would say that's pretty great for a meal. Yeah, next. Okay, bibimbap. This is a Korean dish. So it's a Korean dish with a bunch of different assorted vegetables and rice in the bottom and some sort of beef or eggs on top. I would say bibimbap is actually amazing in terms of the whole 2-to-1 ratio. If you are on a diet, then I would maybe just take out half of the rice inside the bibimbap and just have everything else. And definitely go easy on the gochujang, which is the red bean paste sauce that you normally put on top and then mix it all together. I would say go easy on that. Maybe put like 1/3 of that. It's not going to taste as amazing, but you still get to taste everything. It's a relatively healthy meal because it has a lot of good nutritional value in terms of lots of veggies, lots of great nutrients, and there's protein, there's a good amount of carbs. Yeah, I would say bibimbap like maybe 8 out of 10. Yeah, 8 out of 10. Okay, next. This is fun. Sorry? Pizza. Okay. Pizza, it doesn't have that much of nutritional value. But if you do decide to make pizza at your own place, in your own home, and you bake it on your own, it could be fine. If you look at a pizza, it's just the crust, which is a bunch of carbs and a lot of oil. And there's, in terms of the cheese, a lot of fat in the cheese. And on top, you know, depending on what kind of ingredients you put, it could be vegetables, which is great, but normally it could be like pepperoni, which is obviously very high in fat and sodium. So I would say if you want to have a pizza, bake it at your own home. But if you're going to have it outside, maybe ask for a margarita pizza. That could be lesser on the calories and easier on the fat. Overall, pizza, like I said, like it really is just one of those things where you're eating pizza for what, right? You really have to understand where these cravings are coming from. If you are craving for a pepperoni pizza because you want something salty, normally if you are craving for salty food, it just means that your body is lacking hydration. If you drink a glass of water, a glass of electrolyte water, that could immediately satiate those salty, you know, fatty cravings. You can enjoy it, but enjoy it with intention and enjoy it with really truly understanding why and where your cravings are coming from. Maybe finding ways to satiate your hunger first by eating, maybe having like a salad or some sort of like a soup or something before, and then you can have maybe one slice of pizza just to satiate your pleasurable guilty pleasures. I would say 4 out of 10. I can't really see it any better than that. Okay, next. Okay, we've got steak and frites. Steak and frites, again, it's great because it's amazing with protein. Steak has a lot of protein, but normally when they cook steak, they cook it in high butter. I'm not a hater of butter. I think butter could be amazing if you eat it in portions. Steak is great for women's bodies, especially. Red meat is actually great for women's bodies in terms of iron, magnesium, and it helps to balance your hormones, all that amazing stuff. So, you know, it could be great. Steak and frites though, like if you're on a diet, definitely frites. Again, fries are just not going to be your best friend, but if you want to have some, it's okay. You can have like a couple pieces. You can have like maybe like 5 5 fries. I know the face that my sister is making is hilarious. Yeah, like 5 fries just to please your guilty pleasures, and then have the steak and have like a bit of salad on the side, some whole grain or some quinoa. I would rate it, depending on how you eat it, let's say 7 out of 10. Okay, big bowl of salad. Depending on what you put in your salad could go from literally 200 calories to 1,000 calories. Normally it does come from the dressing. Obviously, even the tiniest 2 tablespoons of dressing, that's literally like this much. I can't really fully measure with my hand because it's liquid. 2 tablespoons of dressing is already 30 to 40 calories. So imagine you're putting a whole dump in your salad, right? Obviously that's going to increase the calories a bunch. Also, at the end of the day, you have to think, am I eating this big bowl of salad because I actually want to enjoy the salad, or am I just eating this big bowl of salad because I know it's low in calories even though I eat in volume? I'm not a huge fan of volume eating just because volume eating is not super amazing in terms of training your stomach. At the end of the day, we do want to stay in a caloric deficit. That's going to require your stomach to get smaller in a way, and your stomach is a muscle too. It's made out of muscles. So the more you expand it with volume eating, it's going to desire to eat more in volume because your stomach is so stretched out. We want to kind of decrease the size of our stomach to stay comfortable and satiated even with a caloric deficit. I'm not a big fan of volume eating. So if you truly want to eat the salad because you crave for it, then have that salad, but don't really eat in volume. Maybe just add in some other stuff that can really satiate your hunger. For example, like adding some lean chicken in there and bell peppers in there, some asparagus in there, eating just like a big bed of lettuce and a lot of sauce. I don't know how that's going to really help with your diet. Intention with your decision to eat that big bowl of salad. Why is it big, first of all? Why does it have to be in such above volume? Is it really the salad that you're craving, or is it just craving for something that's low in calories but you just want to eat a lot, but eat ways that is going to fill you up, actually give you nutritional value, also is going to please you? Eat in moderation. I don't like that whole like, oh, you can't have this food because it's bad food. No food is really truly bad, and no good food is really truly good. Really think about the intention, the moderation, and the balance, and you're fine. Okay, guys, so that was the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed me speaking really quietly, because if I speak any louder than this level, I'm gonna start coughing. I really hope you guys just found this fun and entertaining, and maybe you just, got some good tips out of here. Learn about how you can eat to become slim. Don't forget to check out Halara for any of the workout pieces that I showed you guys in this video. Check out the description box for all of my social links. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.